My name is Gunjan Menon. I'm from India and I'm a conservation filmmaker. I grew up watching wildlife documentaries, but there was always a mismatch between the reality that I saw in India and the films that I was watching. I wanted to be the kind of storyteller that would include the people to be a part of the stories. So wanted to drive change with the kind of films I was making. My first film was a story about red panda conservation that was led by women in Nepal, and with the way that film went around and created tangible change and impact on ground made me realize that this is what I wanted to do all my life, and this is why I will forever continue making films. So that's how it all started, and I've never looked back since then. I have an organization called Beyond Premieres, which at the core believes in bridging that gap between people who want to create change and people who work on the front lines that can actually act. And that includes helping filmmakers with legal work, with policy change, and creating impacts around films that are already made, so that we're actually not stopping at the premiere and taking our change beyond that. I think there's a disconnect between people and nature. We see nature as something that's different from us, something that needs to be saved. But if you think about it, we're interconnected, and that is what's missing, a connection, that sense of pride that comes from being one with nature and wildlife. And if we find that missing link, I think we can save what's left of wildlife and biodiversity and nature. Collaboration is key. All our journeys are so different, but when we come together as scientists, as filmmakers, as activists on the ground, or even communities that have always existed with wildlife, we share wisdom, we share what we see on the front lines, and that's how we can drive change. And it's so important today, now more than ever, because we're not talking to each other and we don't know what the problems at the ground are. People who are making policy have never been on the front lines. So if there's more collaboration, there are so many solutions. I realize that sometimes people like me can be very passionate, too emotional, and we're not speaking the same language as the policymakers, the audience that I really want to connect with to drive change. So being here and talking to the people from those backgrounds or collaborating with them will help me bridge that gap and take my stories to the next level. No matter where we come from, which countries we come from, we're facing similar challenges at the grassroots level. Regenerative future is inclusive. Everyone has equal opportunities, we grow together.